The drama surrounding Manny Pacquiao's son stepping into the path of Naoya Inoue felt like destiny colliding with destruction. In the Philippines, they called him Baby Pacquiao. The stance was familiar, southpaw. The rhythm was aggressive. The combinations came in bursts, sharp and furious, just like the man who once carried an entire nation on his shoulders. For years, the comparisons followed him into every gym, every arena, every introduction. He didn't shy away from them. He embraced them. He wanted the pressure. He wanted the expectations. And most of all, he wanted to prove that he wasn't living in someone else's shadow. He was a champion in his own right. Across the sea in Japan stood a different kind of force. Naoya Inoue wasn't interested in legacies handed down through bloodlines. He was building something colder, sharper, and far more unforgiving. They called him the monster for a reason. He didn't simply win fights. He dismantled opponents. He didn't collect belts. He conquered divisions. And when the deal was finalized, when both champions agreed to unify everything at super bantamweight, the air around the sport changed. This wasn't just Japan versus the Philippines. It wasn't just unified champion versus unified champion. This was for undisputed supremacy, for history, for immortality. Baby Pacquiao, known formally as Marlon Tapales, had earned his place. 20 knockout victories, a reputation as one of boxing's most clinical finishers. He had already dismantled a unified champion to seize his belts. He marched into Japan undefeated on foreign soil, carrying not just titles, but the pride of Filipino boxing. He fought like a man who understood that history watches certain nights differently. He believed he was bigger, stronger, more relentless. Some even whispered that he had the tools to end the monster's reign. But Inoue wasn't thinking about whispers. He wanted something emphatic, something violent. When the bell rang inside the Ariake Arena, the tension was immediate. Tapales came forward in his southpaw stance, flicking jabs, probing, looking to disrupt Inoue's timing. His strategy was clear. Overwhelm early. Throw combinations in clusters, make it messy. For brief moments, it worked. The Japanese crowd grew uneasy as the Filipino pressed forward, absorbing counters but refusing to retreat. He hunted for that one decisive punch, the kind Manny Pacquiao used to detonate careers. Inoue stood his ground. There's a particular calm that elite fighters possess, a stillness in chaos. Inoue displayed it from the opening exchange. His footwork was precise, economical. He read angles the way a grandmaster reads a chessboard. When Tapales lunged, Inoue answered. When Tapales pressed, Inoue adjusted. The counters began landing with increasing authority. Short right hands, compact hooks, body shots designed to erode resolve. By the fourth round, the fight had settled into a brutal rhythm. Tapales remained fearless, stepping into danger to fire combinations. But Inoue's shots were sharper, more surgical. Then came the moment that shifted the arena's energy entirely. Near the end of the round, Inoue unleashed a slicing combination, finishing with a left hook that detonated against Tapales' guard and temple. The Filipino hit the canvas. It wasn't just a knockdown, it was a statement. The monster had found his range. Tapales rose, but something had changed. The aggression remained, yet now it carried urgency. He understood the power across from him. Inoue, sensing vulnerability, increased the tempo. He mixed levels brilliantly, body to head to body, never wasting movement. Each punch carried the quiet promise of finality. Still, Tapales refused to fold. Rounds passed. The Filipino endured punishment that would have broken lesser fighters. He adjusted defensively, rolled shots when he could, and fired back with counters of his own. The fight was more competitive than many predicted. For stretches, Tapales' resilience frustrated Inoue. He slowed the pace at times, dug to the body, tried to sap the monster's explosiveness. It was the kind of gritty, pride-driven performance that defined Filipino boxing for decades. But greatness often reveals itself in the championship rounds. By the 10th, the accumulated damage began to surface. Inoue's precision had been compounding, each clean right hand carving away at Tapales' equilibrium. Then it happened. A thunderous right cross landed flush. Tapales staggered backward, his balance betraying him. Before he could recover, another crushing right hand followed, this one striking with surgical accuracy. The temple absorbed the impact. His legs gave way. He dropped to his knees. The arena erupted, not with shock, but with recognition. They were witnessing history being sealed. Tapales tried to gather himself, but the signals were unmistakable. His equilibrium was gone. The referee counted. Doctors prepared, and the monster stood nearby, composed and unblinking. Tapales could not rise without assistance. In that moment, belts changed hands, but something more symbolic shifted as well. The nickname Baby Pacquiao, once a badge of honor, felt claimed by the man who delivered the final blow. Inoue didn't just win. He absorbed the narrative. He unified all 4 super bantamweight titles, becoming the first undisputed champion at 122 pounds. Just a year after fully unifying the bantamweight division, he had done it again in a second weight class. Only a select few in boxing history could claim such a distinction. Statistically, the accomplishment bordered on absurd: 19 knockouts in 21 world title fights, a knockout rate surpassing 90% in championship bouts, the highest in the history of world title matches. Numbers that don't just describe dominance, but redefine it. And yet, amid the celebration, respect lingered for Tapales. He had walked into hostile territory and fought like a warrior. He absorbed punishment that would have ended many careers sooner. His endurance and fearlessness extended the contest deeper than most anticipated. For stretches, he forced Inoue to work, to think, to adapt. He proved he belonged among the elite, even in defeat. But belonging among the elite is not the same as ruling them. That night in Tokyo, Naoya Inoue didn't merely defend his home soil. He elevated himself into rarefied air, joining the company of modern greats who conquered multiple divisions without dispute. The victory wasn't flamboyant or reckless. It was methodical violence, controlled destruction, the kind that leaves little room for argument. For Filipino fans, the fight carried emotional layers. Manny Pacquiao's legacy looms enormous in boxing lore, a symbol of national pride, relentless aggression, and improbable triumph. Seeing a fighter branded as a successor fall to the monster felt like watching eras collide. It wasn't just about belts, it was about identity. Could the spirit of the Pac-Man withstand the precision of Japan's greatest champion? On this night, precision prevailed. And yet, the story doesn't end with a knockout. It lingers in the hypothetical that fans love to debate. Prime for prime, what would happen if Manny Pacquiao himself stood across from Naoya Inoue? Would speed overwhelm precision? Would power meet power in a firefight for the ages? It's a fantasy matchup that bridges generations and ignites endless arguments. What we know for certain is this: when Baby Pacquiao challenged the monster, it was pure violence. It was courage meeting calculation, pressure colliding with precision. And in the end, history chose its king. So now the question shifts to you. If a mythical clash between Naoya Inoue and Manny Pacquiao ever materialized at their best, who walks away victorious? Does the relentless storm of the Pac-Man break through? Or does the monster's surgical power end early? Share your thoughts below, join the debate. And if you appreciate deep dives into boxing's most dramatic nights, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more high-level fight breakdowns and storytelling.